Want to say peace and blessings to everyone. I decided to do a brief live and just want to address the Stephen A. Smith, the Aaron Rodgers, the Kyrie Irving, the whole situation, the double standards that we see playing out through the media, and to really commend Jason Williams for defending Kyrie and calling out Stephen A. Smith contradictory behaviors. Stephen A. Smith blatantly lied. This narrative that he wants to push about Kyrie Irving, he wants to push this lazy, don't want to work behavior. You know, some of the things that the stereotypes that you hear about the men in our community, you know, that's what he wants to push about Kyrie Irving. And he wants to tap into his money in terms of hinder Kyrie Irving for getting what they call the bag, you know, the max deal. See, if you pay attention and listen to what Stephen A. Smith stated, that Kyrie Irving in January will be up for a max deal. And what Stephen A. Smith has gone on CNN and other platforms stating that he would not give Kyrie Irving the money. He made it clear and continuously talk about Kyrie Irving's work ethics. If you listen to what Jason Williams called out about Stephen A. Smith continuously tried to call out Kyrie Irving's work ethics. He lied. He said a year ago that Kyrie Irving decided to sit out because of riots that occurred at the Capitol a year ago. Family, that is a bald-faced lie. There was no riots in Capitol Hill that Kyrie Irving sat out due to riots. Our people were not rioting at Capitol Hill. We know during the time with the whole George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and the Ahmaud Arbery, you know, that the NBA players collectively decided to say, hey, you know, we're going to put a pause on playing because some things need to change. The Milwaukee Bucks, it wasn't just Kyrie Irving. But see, this is the lies of Stephen A. Smith. I call him the, Hoppin Bob from Life. That's Stephen A. Smith. That's the character right there. He blatantly lied and said that Kyrie Irving used riots on the Capitol a year ago to sit out. Now, we know the insurrection that occurred in January 6th of this year, but that had nothing to do with Kyrie Irving. That had nothing to do with our people. That was everything to do with, we already know, those Trump supporters who want to stop the confirmation of the election. See, we have to pay attention and listen with intelligence, family, because Stephen A. Smith blatantly lied. That's why I played the clips. I played those clips so you can listen and do the comparison, because I got all the clips. I have more that I'm going to upload so you can hear how this man blatantly lied. He started by saying that his problem really is Kyrie Irving because he has a habit of ducking out. And, you know, credit again to Jason Williams. Jason Williams, like, wait a minute, you know, Kyrie Irving did show up last year. Did he not play a year going, you know, as Stephen A. Smith fessed up and said, yeah. See, you have to listen to this propaganda machine. See, if you listen to what Stephen A. Smith stated in the last video I uploaded, Stephen A. Smith made it clear that he can't go after Aaron Rodgers. He said that, you know, over time they will be going after Aaron Rodgers, but it won't be him. Stephen A. Smith is assigned to attack his own people, just like The View, Whoopi Goldberg and all those, just like Joy uh, Reid, that's on MSNBC, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I could go right down the list on these so-called leaders who turned on their own people, threw their own people out there to hang by themselves. But they won't show you, which I'm going to upload the video of when some of the people that was standing and protesting in support of Kyrie Irving, you see Jewish communities, the Jewish community as we know them, they were out there. It was a lot of people supporting Kyrie, but they're not going to point on, highlight those things. You have Aaron Rodgers, who literally lied and stated that he took the vaccine, but what he said was he's immune. He immunized. And then began to talk about and mention how he's not going to basically throw those that are unvaccinated under the bus. But listen to Stephen A. Smith, his response. Like he's the house Negro, and he came, went into his master's room and discovered that his master was not feeling well. So Stephen A. Smith goes in there like the house Negro, or should I say the Hoppin Bob. We sick. What's wrong, boss? What's wrong, master? We sick. We's not feeling good today. See, we have to start paying attention to what's being spewed. Stephen A. Smith blatantly lied. He threw Kyrie Irving under the bus relentlessly, went at this man, and he lied and said that all of a sudden he said, well, Jay, you're the reason why I got animated. That's a lie. If you go back over the clips that I've been posting, you see Stephen A. Smith was doing the same. He was calling them out the same way, but he started trying to change the narrative. He started trying to pivot. He started trying to, I'm going to hold on to what Kyrie Irving said. He's the voice of the people. Before Jason Williams even said anything to defend Kyrie, saying, hey, we shouldn't be calling the man stupid. Stephen A. Smith called the man stupid. Even said that he didn't have all the facts, said that if the reports are true, did not hear from Kyrie's own mouth, and he completely attacked the man's character. That's what he and what's his name? I can't think of his name, from Dallas Cowboys. He used to play with the Dallas Cowboys, but he's in the discussion, that particular discussion as well. And he made all kinds of foolish comments of, well, I can't follow a leader who has $200 million. Well, do you know that most politicians are wealthy? Do you know that Donald Trump was or is a billionaire? Do you know that if we want to look at, the wealth that the Clintons accumulated, do you know they have more than just $200, million? Do you know, if you look at the mayor of New York alone, we could go right down the list and we could see politicians that are billionaires, or if not billionaires, but multimillionaires, that are a reflection of their community, supposedly, that were voted in, that are what? The voice of the people. Coming up with all these things. Well, I want to know what Kyrie Irving's agenda is. Man, he made it clear that he wanted to be the voice to those that don't have a voice. And Stephen A. Smith threw that under the bus. Even LeBron James got vaccinated, changed his stance and said, you know what? He had to do more research and come into the conclusion that, he went on and just got the jab, but he made a decision based on his family, but he's not going to tell others to do it. That's their right. And what did Stephen A. Smith say? And I'm going to put that clip back up. He said, oh, no, we can't let them off the hook. No, LeBron James had all this time. Now he wants to, these guys are real slick. That's what he said. He said LeBron James is real slick. He still threw LeBron James under the bus. He even lied about the numbers. He said 6.2 billion people are fully vaccinated. Guess what? Up until yesterday, around the world, a little more than 3, according to the statistics, 3 billion people that have at least taken one jab. So lying, called the man stupid. But then when it came to Aaron Rodgers, oh, well, this is tough for me because you guys know I coined the term. I coined the term, he's a bad man. He's a bad man. I coined the term. I coined the term that he's a bad man. And he looks really bad right now because he lied. But he came at Kyrie with such a venom. This is where you get into cognitive dissonance. This is where you get into Stockholm syndrome. That's what happens. That's the breeding ground right there. He lied, family. And family, what you see with Stephen A. Smith, it's not just Stephen A. Smith. That is a behavioral problem in our community as a whole. How many of you guys are waking up to your identity? How many attacks have we been viciously on the receiving end because many of us are awaking to who we are? And these people hide behind church or Christianity. They hide behind Catholicism. They hide behind evangelism. They hide behind apologetics. How many of us have been under that same spirit of attack that Kyrie Irving is currently up under? For coming to understanding who you are. Even this president spewed racial undertones when he was dealing with the unvaccinated. How many so-called church folks that have attacked you have attacked me, and you guys seen some of the vicious attacks I was subjected to because of what? Knowing who I am. Decided because they could not answer, could not deal with me from an academic perspective. So then they wanted to what? Let's make him look bad. Let's mess up. Let's try to taint his reputation. How many of us had to deal with that? You tell them you honoring the feast days and you want to honor the Shabbat, or what, you part of a cult? Or you one of those Hebrew Israelite guys? How many of us have been called all kinds of names, videos made about us, all kinds of books written about us, conventions made about us, pockets getting fat? Come on, family, we got to call it what it is. That's the spirit of Hoppin. That's why I had to stay clear from a lot of this foolishness, because truth be told, with what I do for a living, the areas that I've worked at, the positions that I've held, from a director's position, project manager, the managed teams all across this country, had to think about it. Some of these people, if they were in my place of business, place of work, they would not even be on the same campus as me. But I'm giving them access. No, I had to change all of that, family. Because we got too many of these hopping bobs around here. Too many hopping bobs. All they're doing is just jumping on platforms and spewing their witchcraft. That's all they're doing. Don't have assemblies that they're connected to. You don't see them in their place of worship. You don't see any of that. We've been in ministry for 14 years as a pastor. 14 years. See, when people don't have an answer, they have to make things ugly to try to give themselves a puncher's chance. That's right, keyboard warriors. I call them keyboard cockiness. Keyboard tough guys. Internet tough guys. They will post and say things behind a video that they will not say in a person's face. Even Stephen A. Smith call himself calling out Stephon Marbury because Stephon Marbury told him to back up off Kyrie. And then he wanted to send him a secret message in the DMs of trying to work things out. But then on in the media, you trying to put him down, wanting to highlight the meltdown that Marbury had when he was under all that pressure. Stephon Marbury, the very one that LeBron James even laughed at, mocked at about when he was trying to come up with affordable sneakers, that still had the same quality as, because in New York, New Jersey, you guys know what I'm talking about, Philly area, people getting robbed for their sneakers. Now, when I was back in the day, when I was young, it was Pumas and Adidas. You got robbed for your sneakers. Right off your feet, people were getting killed over sneakers and coats. So he decided to come up with a plan of making affordable sneakers that's based off the same quality. And he got ridiculed for that. And LeBron James is one of the ones that ridiculed him, that mocked him for that. See, that's Stephen A. Smith. That's the spirit of Hoppin. See, Stephen A. Smith, the reason why you see him acting like this, he got his money. He got a 5-year, $60 million deal. So it's guaranteed. So he got his money. Now he's at this so-called level that the other guys are trying to get to, per se. Everything that Stephen A. Smith has said on the air has been a lie when he called himself going at Kyrie Irving. And I commend Jason Williams for standing his ground, because I was surprised. Because Stephen A. Smith disrespected him big time, called him out. Basically insinuated that Jay Williams is a punk. But called Kyrie Irving stupid. Called Kyrie Irving stupid. Stupid. So family, again, this problem extends beyond the sports world. See, even before this whole Aaron Rodgers thing happened, notice when Stephen A. Smith never said anything about Kirk Cousins, Wentz, and some of the other players that are not vaccinated. You see all the things that he's spewing out here? Even Jason Williams tried to kill him with kindness, tried to give him a little props, and he threw it right back in Jason Williams' face. See, family, that's the tone. See, I had to learn that lesson as a kid. Y'all gonna remember this. See, I learned that lesson. I had compassion for your own brothers and sisters, even if it seemed as if you're not under the same scrutiny. That's why I had the demeanor that I have. See, I remember when I was younger, and you guys remember this, back in the day, I remember growing up and, the time when you had to go out and get the things that your parents were going to beat you with. See, my grandmother made me go out and get a switch for my brothers. Right, this go round, I'm good. I'm not getting a beat. They're getting a beat. So she told me to go out and get a switch for my brothers so she can tighten them up. So I went out and see where I'm located at, where I'm from. Right, you have these buildings because we lived in the projects, but then you have some of these empty fields that have trees and stuff growing there. All kinds of tall grass and everything. So I went out there. And I caught myself pulling this tree. It was a miniature tree. I'm pulling this miniature tree. The every time I pull, the base of it swell up. I'm pulling this thing. And finally got it out the ground. Got all this dirt and roots and everything. So now I'm walking through the doors and going up the steps in the projects because the elevators weren't working. So I had to carry it up the steps. And then I'm dragging this big tree, miniature tree down the hall, dirt all over the place, then get inside the door, and I'm dragging it through the door. And then my grandmother looked at me. She said, "What in the world do you have with you?" And I got this tree for her to use to beat my brothers. My grandmother looked at me. She said, you know what? You have no compassion. You went out there and got a whole tree for me to beat your brothers. She said, you know what? She said, they're going to stand here and watch you get the beating because you're going to learn, even if you're not on the receiving end, but you're still going to have compassion for your brothers. Man, she wore me out with that thing. That tree that I came back, that miniature tree that I came back with. And that's the same behavior that we see happening among our brothers and sisters. They're going out and get the tree, whatever they can, to harm and hurt, to make sure that anyone that they are addressing for this agenda, guess what? They're non-effective. They're not effective anymore. So it's not about Kyrie's money. It's about Kyrie's voice. That's what they are attacking. They are attacking his voice. They're trying to attack his influence. That's what they're attacking. So, family, I just want to take a moment out here, just so that way you guys have an understanding of why I post certain videos, even with this whole Stephen A. Smith thing. This is so that way you guys have an example. Let me start this car up here. I just joined on here because I didn't realize the heat. Let me make sure my car don't my phone don't overheat because I got to get this AC on it. But anyway, I let me turn the AC on so that way the AC can cool his phone off. All right, let's do it right now. All right, there we go. Hopefully this will cool it down some. Yeah, because my phone, I got the message saying that my phone is overheating. So let me go ahead and turn this AC on. Let some of that cool air blow up into this phone. So if you hear a little noise,